Today we're eating our way through one of New York's most popular neighborhoods, Williamsburg, Brooklyn. From breakfast to pizza and one of the most unique burgers in the Big Apple. Hope you brought your appetites. We're gonna eat. With a name like Super Burrito, you might think this is some random hole in the wall, but what if I told you they have one of the best breakfast burritos in all of New York? I feel like I just stepped into a 1980s movie set. Wow, I love it already.
My name is Eugene Cleghorn, and I'm the owner of Super Burrito. Yeah, I'm from San Francisco, California, and I moved here 18 years ago. Super Burrito started on the boardwalk in Rockaway Beach. We had 3 summers on the boardwalk. It was a great time. We grew into a brick and mortar in 2020, and then expanded to Williamsburg in January of 23. I'm trying to represent food that I grew up on in SF. Mission style burritos was a big part of my upbringing. I was raised by a single mom. She would give me $5, I would put it in my sock, I would go hoop for a while, and then I'd pick up a burrito on my way home. And then when I moved to New York, that mission style flavor wasn't around. I just put it together mostly from memory, just thinking about all of the flavors that I missed the most and just putting it all together, always thinking about how to improve and how to represent SF. 415 forever, Bay Area.
It's like an intentional retro vibe you got going on.
Yeah, the orange and black for the San Francisco Giants. And then the retro feel was my business partner, who is no longer with the company. He was just really into old Taco Bell ads from the early 90s and late 80s. And he had a really nice visual aesthetic and a feel for how things should look. So this is 320 Club. In San Francisco, there's a lot of bars that are named after the address. So this is 320 Bedford Avenue. Back here, open till 2 a.m. every day.
Can you order burritos till 2?
You can order till 1 a.m., 7 days a week. This is a little lounge. A lot of this stuff are nods to where I'm from. And then this is the bar. If you go to SF, there's a ton of bars that are really lived in. They're just old school, wooden, and that's what we wanted to represent. So these tortillas we get from San Jose, California. One of the most well-regarded spots in SF, La Taqueria, they use these same ones. They're La Colonial. We steam the tortilla with Monterey Jack cheese. This also rehydrates the tortilla. And then onto the foil. We'll do a quick scramble of about 2 eggs, tiny bit of salt. So quick scramble, soft scramble. Put that on the tortilla. So we're gonna add some chorizo. Just pork chorizo, it's really nice. So we'll take a smear of guacamole. Lots of this salsa roja. In SF, all of our breakfast spots have hash browns. We'll do a quick roll. So then we crisp it up on the panini press. Get it nice and golden brown. This also kind of further melts the cheese and gets everything nice and incorporated. So we wrap this up. Nice and tight. I'll cut it in half for y'all. So that's it. It's very simple. So this next burrito is something I've been working on. This is short rib and refried beans. Nice and juicy. I braise that for 12 hours. Again, we'll do egg, but on this one, it's a little bit different. I kind of want to make a flat, round piece of egg that will fit onto the tortilla and then wrap around everything else. So now we'll put the beans on the cheese, add the egg, and then we're gonna take this short rib, place it here in the middle. I have some friends in Bed-Stuy that make this incredible creamy habanero sauce. We'll put a little bit on here because it's pretty spicy. And then I add the green salsa to this one, a little bit of pico, sliced avocado instead of guac, and that's it. Again, very simple, but properly done. Okay, quick little crispy. I'm excited for y'all to try this one. No one's tasted it. You're the first people to taste it, aside from me, yeah.
Their famous breakfast burrito, and I love the simplicity of it. I can safely say I've never had a burrito before that had a hash brown in it, but you're not finding mission-style burritos around every corner in New York, which is what makes Super Burrito so special to me. And if you read the sign on how to eat a burrito, they tell you, do not take it out of the wrapper, it will fall apart. Although looking at the prep, it is just holding together so well. You know, the first thing I noticed when I took that bite was the tortilla itself, the flour tortilla. It was so soft and nice and crunchy too. I got a good bit of that chorizo. Wasn't too overpowering with the flavor. Adding the hash brown to this, it's so soft and comforting. Fluffy eggs, the guacamole on the bottom, the salsa rojo, just the right amount of kick. Putting the green salsa on top just elevates this burrito to a completely different level. I don't go out of my way to order this very often, but this has got to be the best breakfast burrito I've ever had in my entire life. And I know that Eater, and they called it the best breakfast burrito in New York, and I agree. I wish this place was around the corner for me because I would turn into a breakfast burrito person, guaranteed. Sometimes in life, you just get lucky, and I am the first person to try this short rib burrito that he's been experimenting with, and he says it'll be on the menu by tomorrow, and he really wanted my opinion on it. Well, I gotta tell you, just from the looks of it, it's a work of art. Man, that short rib, so juicy and tender. He was saying they were using some special salsa from Bed-Stuy. It's got a little kick to it, but I like the heat. I like that we're bringing the heat in the morning with this. Even the way that they cooked the egg different, I think there was a lot of thought that went into this short rib burrito, and I could see this being a bestseller here. Now, for my hardcore California burrito fans, the San Diego, LA style, as he said, they do sell it here. It has French fries, typically carne asada meat. My friend Jay Cation, if he's watching, big San Diego YouTuber, we gotta come in here together. I loved hearing Eugene talk about how this was a childhood dream of his. And that's something so common in New York. You hear about owners, like it's their dream to open up a spot. And New York is a city of immigrants, a city of transplants, a city of people not from here. They bring a little bit of that culture to the city. And I think Williamsburg is the perfect spot for Super Burrito. Because not only can you get fantastic burritos starting at 11 a.m., but after 5 p.m. on weeknights and 12 p.m. on weekends, they got the cocktail bar in the back. So you could come here for nightlife, you could come here for lunch or for breakfast. You're from the Bay Area, you're gonna love this spot. You've never been to San Francisco, get a little piece of it right here. For people in their 20s moving to New York, Williamsburg is one of the go-to neighborhoods. We're walking on Bedford Ave right now, which has every type of store imaginable, thrift shops, restaurants, bars, tons of coffee shops. This is the hub of Williamsburg. Santa Fe BK. This is not something you find on every corner, a spot dedicated to food from New Mexico.
I'm John Waterberg, co-owner of Santa Fe BK. My partner is my lovely wife, Melissa. I'm originally from Albuquerque, lived in New York City since 2001. In 2007, I was working, oddly enough, at a restaurant called Santa Fe, attending Barr. A beautiful woman walked in to apply as a waitress. It was my future wife, Melissa. We fell in love in Santa Fe in the backyard that summer, drinking margaritas. When I took Melissa to meet my family in New Mexico, she was blown away by the food. So she said, we need to recreate Santa Fe, but make it a real Santa Fe that serves real New Mexican food, and then we need to create a space where other people can fall in love, just like we did over the margaritas.
Someone who doesn't know much about New Mexican cuisine, what is it typically?
New Mexico cuisine, really what sets it apart more than anything else is the Hatch green chilies. The Hatch Valley is a valley in southern New Mexico. You can only get Hatch green chili from the Hatch Valley. Nothing else will taste the same. You can even take Hatch Valleys elsewhere and grow them and it just won't have that flavor.
What are your best sellers?
Hands down, the green chili chicken enchilada, smothered Christmas style. A close second to the green chili chicken enchiladas is the green chili cheeseburger, and it's literally just what it sounds like. Cheeseburger any way you can imagine, and then just heap the green chili on it, and you've got the green chili cheeseburger. There are literally thousands of variations, and touring the state and eating green chili cheeseburgers, you could probably do it for years at a time and never eat the same one twice.
And how hot are the Hatch chilies?
The ones that we import from New Mexico are of a medium range because while most New Mexicans do like their chili hot, we had to really keep in mind that our target market out here is the East Coast gringos. And so we have ways of heating it up for, you know, the locals, the real ones, and those who are into it. But
What's the code word if you want it really hot?
just
tell you.
yeah, burn me. Burn me.
Medium's fine. Medium's good. Medium's good.
And medium's got a good heat to it. It's a nice, warm, cozy heat.
These are the 6 ounces. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna flip it. These are the cheese that I use.
Swiss and American?
Yep. So now, the fun part. I'm gonna sprinkle You love it? You always want your burger to have some flavor. Sometimes the bottom will be a little soggy, so I'll retoast it. So when you taste it, the cheese melts like directly in your mouth. Ain't no burger like a Santa Fe burger. All you're gonna do is just keep on coming back. Gentlemen, there you go.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
I appreciate it. Lunch is strictly to go, but if you're lucky enough to snag one of these two fine red chairs here, you got a front row seat. That branding is everywhere. I love how they branded Santa Fe BK. Well, we've got two firsts here. I've never tried a green chili cheeseburger, and I've never used a water pipe as our plate. Oh my goodness. This is $9. I think it's actually a very solid lunch deal right here. My favorite part was how she put it back on the grill for an extra minute on both sides, just so the cheese was running through this. It is still piping hot 5 minutes later. A true story, I lived in the Southwest US for 2 summers in El Paso, Texas. I've been to Albuquerque, never ever tried this. If you had told me to try something called a green chili cheeseburger when I was in my 20s, I would have said, heck no, I'm afraid. But look where life has taken me, and now I'm actually pumped. Look at all the green chili just coming right out there. I think it's daring me to go from that angle. Let's rock. Just how juicy and soft that patty is. They get the beef from Paisanos in Carroll Gardens, which is an amazing butcher shop. He was saying you can't waste Hatch green chili on anything. Everything here has to stand by itself, and I really think that it does. From the 2 types of cheeses, from the Swiss and the American, to the juicy, juicy patty, and of course that green Hatch chili holding it all together with that kick. I really regret not trying this when I was in Albuquerque like 10 years ago. I really regret it. They bring in 2 tons of the Hatch chilies from New Mexico. You know, they could have used something else and gotten a similar taste, but as he was saying, you need it for this. I can see why it's so popular. They have a great nighttime service as well. Check their website for reservations. Now, if you're curious how the green chili cheeseburger came to be, there is a story, I don't know if it's true, but apparently at the Owl Bar and Cafe in San Antonio, New Mexico, scientists working on the Manhattan Project would come in and order cheeseburgers with a side of green chili. One day the dishwasher didn't show up for work, so the bowls that held the chili were still dirty and couldn't be used. The cook simply added the chili directly to the patty, and a classic was born. Whether or not that's just an urban legend or not, I don't know, but whoever invented this is definitely getting a lot of props from me. Important to note, the green chili cheeseburger is only available from noon to 3 p.m. and at 12:35, it's already sold out. They are very well known for their breakfast burritos as well. I know we just did Super Burrito, but if you want some comparisons, you want to go on a breakfast burrito crawl, this would be a good second stop. I also like the slogan of this spot, where the land of enchantment meets the county of kings. I mean, think about it. How many New York pizza spots are there around the country? But to find a restaurant dedicated to food from New Mexico, Williamsburg, say what you will about it being too hipster, being too expensive, having too many Whole Foods. This is the perfect neighborhood for a spot like this. You were definitely right. I'm gonna be coming back for that. It was so good.
Told you. Ain't nothing but a Santa Fe burger.
If we're gonna do a neighborhood food tour, you know we have to throw in a pizza spot. Fini has been here less than 2 years and has already made quite the splash. One of the top slices in all of Williamsburg. You'll see why. And we've got 2 of their more famous slices, tomato slice and the white slice. I think this fits the vision of the owners pretty well. I had a chance to talk to them off camera, and he was saying that this is similar to the slice shops they grew up with. Obviously, they're elevating a lot of the ingredients here. This is, I would say, a real Williamsburg experience, like sitting outside on these lawn chairs here, like we're at a 4th of July picnic. So we've got the tomato slice, which is $5. This is by no means the cheapest slice in New York. You are paying a premium for this. It's got San Marzano tomatoes, garlic breadcrumbs, and Calabrian chili oil, all added after it comes out of the oven. So this is the one I heard a lot about from a good friend of mine, Greg, if you're watching. Well, everybody knows Greg from my channel. The interesting thing about this slice is that it has absolutely no cheese whatsoever, which makes it vegan. Yes, a vegan slice, but maybe not the vegan slice that you were thinking of. Not much of a flop, looks pretty sturdy. Let's take our first bite as that bus pulls up. Yeah, how are you, man? Good, man. We're about to. Oh, what's up? Yeah, we're trying out some pizza here at Fini. Let's try this tomato. For someone like me, whose favorite slices are really saucy, I find this really interesting. The garlic breadcrumbs are just like first and foremost when you take that bite, and you get a little bit of kick from that Calabrian chili oil. But the San Marzano tomatoes, that's like the king of New York City pizza when it comes to tomato sauce. If you're into like a saucy slice, you're gonna like this a lot. So I've had vegan pizza before with like fake cheese, and I didn't like it. This is a vegan slice I can actually get behind. Definitely not your average pizza here at all. They were telling me the white slice is actually even more popular than the tomato slice. And this has got 3 types of cheese: fresh mozzarella, Parmigiano, and Fontina. And you've got lemon on the side. I even put some on. I was talking to somebody, and he told me that his 2 favorite slices in the neighborhood are the burrata from Lindustry and the white slice from here. He said this made him rethink pizza, and this has no tomato sauce on it. So we went from a slice that had no cheese to a slice with no tomato. Completely rethinking the game here, all right. All those fresh cheeses just slap you in the face with a little bit of that zest from the lemon. It's so creamy too. As someone who's a huge sauce fan, I think I like the white slice even more than the tomato slice here, which is like shocking to me. But the quality of these cheeses is just standing out so much. I think that Fini really personifies Williamsburg well, showing how you have the owners opening up a shop with like little plays to their favorite childhood spots. You see the signage inside. It looks like an old school Brooklyn pizzeria. And the great thing about Brooklyn is there are still places like that around. If you want to go to a Luigi's in Park Slope, you can find an old school pizzeria that still does great stuff. Come to a Fini, new school, doing slices that a lot of other places aren't doing, elevating the game. Yes, it's more expensive, but that is the direction that pizza's going right now in New York. You're seeing spots that put more importance on the dough, on the cheese, on the ingredients, and because of that, prices are going up. But this is the current trend in pizza, spot like Fini's, and I definitely recommend them. Now that you know where to eat in Williamsburg, I want to show you a cheap eats tour across the Hudson in Manhattan that has some of the best deals I've ever seen for food in New York. Watch this video next.